happening over the weekend. I mean, you were here yesterday. The Independence Day has come and it's gone. And we're still basking in the euphoria of the Independence Day celebrations. And we have a lot of stories, unofficial headlines that have been making around. I mean, we're talking about the Tinubu challenge before we came online.
Yeah. Apparently now all it takes to be the president of Nigeria is to be able to ride the bicycle for a spinning bicycle, by the way, for 7 seconds. You know, Nigerians always find a way to banter and just
make light of every
situation. Everything. It's at the end of the day, it's politics. It's fun. Let's have fun with it. Like 2023, the people choose who they want as the next president of the country.
I mean, he's the butt of so many jokes right now.
Yeah,
I saw the one with him on
selling
ice creams.
Ewa Dodo Gary or something like that. I don't really know how to pronounce it.
Oh, that was a very, very interesting challenge to see. I mean, I just like the fact that Nigerians are able to make light whatever situation. And then we have Atiku in Gombe. With is it a wedding or a rally? That was an interesting, you know, he was there for a wedding. It was unannounced, and that wasn't even a rally. You'd think that with all the matches going on, there will be no one left, but that was a huge crowd turning up unannounced for His Excellency.
It goes to say how popular our candidate is, and it's good to see. It's good to see that the people love him that much, even if he's just in one state. That's a lot of people to come out for an unscheduled visit. So yeah, it's good. It's nice.
All right, that's interesting. I mean, we also have the history of maths changing, changing over a new discovery. So evidently, Babylonians were the first people to really discover trigonometry ahead of the Greeks, 1,000 years ahead of the Greeks. Now that's an interesting
one. Yeah,
that's a very interesting one.
I don't know maths, but I guess I like ancient things and history, so you know. It's a good
I think it's quite interesting because for a long time we always believed that the Greeks were the scholars, the Greeks were the ones who discovered this, and then being in school and hearing a lot about trigonometry, I mean it just puts Greece all the way up there, and to find out now that it is in fact Babylon, wow.
But then when it comes to the Babylonians, a lot of things actually come from, even law, written law was first done in Babylon. That's how written law was actually formed, when a king, because he wanted the people to know exactly what the laws of the land were. That is how he started writing the laws, and that's how written law has been passed down along the generations. So I mean, the Babylonians are actually very
very learned, quite informed. I used to think that was Egypt anyway. No. I mean, you were out here.
It's in Iran or something like that. Iraq. That part of the world. That's where Babylon was.
The Middle East. Yeah, that's a very interesting story anyway. I mean, you were out yesterday, so what else is happening?
I was sleeping the whole day. I had too much fun during the weekend, so I decided to sleep.
Yes, I'm happy that Nigerians are, it shows the resilience and how much we're able to just walk out of any situation. It's 145 days to Nigeria decides, and looking at all of the fanfare and all that is happening, everybody's trying to position and re-strategize and seeing how they're going to move into the elections. We had Father Mbaka, the controversial priest, being suspended. And I mean, that was, it feels like even reverend fathers, even priests are not, they're not left out of the violence. It's been common knowledge that once you come for the obedient movement, it's a whole lot of violence.
I was just about to say that, like, a whole lot of other royal fathers in other churches, I think Dunamis or so, and some other churches, they have placed support for Peter Obi in a way, but they haven't faced any backlash. But then someone like Mbaka says Peter Obi has no chance, and then all of a sudden he's being suspended. I don't know.
But isn't he a Nigerian first? Doesn't he have...
he has every right.
He has every right to
if Peter Obi has every right to go to other churches and say the Christian faith is for him, then some Christians have every right to say, no, we are not actually for you. We are independent of our thoughts and we can vote whoever we want. So, I mean, Mbaka is from the East. So
you think the suspension was unwarranted?
Yeah, I think it was highly unwarranted. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Although, yes, you could say, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite when I said I think the church, Peter Obi should stay away from the church. So maybe that also plays a part in saying he shouldn't involve himself in politics. Maybe you could say that's the reason for his suspension. Yes.
I mean, much as I would like to say that the politics should be separated from religion, we know that religion is essentially a part of who we are in Nigeria, and it's very hard to separate our tribes and our religions, which is something that we are trying to fight. If we are going to get to a point in Nigeria where we are going to look past our religious differences and forge ahead and look, make our decisions that are bordering on capacity. But as at this point, it is what it is. And it would be nice for candidates to step away from religion or anything that could cause controversies in that line and focus on the issues that are, at hand.
True.
I mean, I think that's why, at the end of the day, the candidacy of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is a preferred one, because he's been clearly, they've stayed out of that conversation, they've stayed out of that religious line, because and it shows the unity. It shows that we're not here, we're not trying to pit the church against the mosque, we're not trying to pit Muslims against Christians. That's not what we are trying to do. We're trying to work together, because whether you're Muslim or you're Christian, you're Nigerian. I think that's what we should be looking forward to going into 2023. All right, we're going to a short break now, and when we return, we will be looking at all of the headlines that are making rounds this morning. To stay with us.
This story did not begin in the wealthiest of wombs, or streams flowing with liquid gold and silver spoons dipped into stews garnished with privilege. In this story, the king was once a peasant, a humble son to parents of humble means. A firm hand on the farm, shepherds of rolling herds fetching feed for the famished of the flock. There was no power in his homestead, but everyone agreed. His heart shone with the radiance of 1,000 fireflies, regardless of how dark the night. These were different times, grassroots times. Kojoli was the place he first learned to dream, under the soft glow of crackling firewood flame, to ask, what miracle can these pauper hands grow, and to pray the prayer of a seed in dirt. But dirt is a fertile ground for the germination of being. This story, from the wind-swept northeastern landscapes in all their glorious barrenness, with the gates of his father's house shut against the penetration of Western education, it seemed like the future would be full of doors no son of Garba would be able to unlock. But destiny is a dogged shadow, chasing and chasing until it caught him in Jada. God bless Kawu Ali, who had learned to believe, even in those grassroots times grazed by doubt. He would register the little dreamer in a school and did not scorn his baby steps as if to say, yes, even the Iroko was once a tender seedling, learning to survive the rage of seasons. So dream, let the stars guide you. This story is about the path the dreamer toed through toil and tremor, tempest and tide, eating failure like yams. Some of them were hard to swallow, but it takes a man thirsty for triumph to keep watering his spirit when losses come encroaching like desert sands. Orphaned at 11, mother's heart gave up when the star of a chap began to glisten. He faced the world with a wrestled smile. Someone once said, grace is God's gift to you, but discipline is the gift you give yourself. Tito your daddo. This is Atiku, and Lord knows it takes a man yearning for mastery to refuse to open the door when the urge to give up comes knocking. This is Atiku, giving back generously to the very land that turned its back on him. Mounted castles where only shacks once stood. This is Atiku, who does not just say education is the key, but has forayed into the fairy furnace to forge many keys for our children. The man who has stood the test of age and times, who has ascended realms only few have dreamt. This is Atiku, battled the pressures of the Echelon to return to us as the diamond in the sky, who has scattered his seeds of unity in a land fragmented by shallow loyalties. Atiku, the man who has built empathy out of resentment, resilience out of defeat, and grace out of grass. This is Atiku, wazirin Adamawa, namiji barkono, mai akuya yayi tafiyan dare ma bale mai kura? Ai wajen saukan doki ba wajen saukan jirgi bane ba. Kuma koda kura baya cizo ai ba za a hada ta da rago ba. Kuma mun san cewa kowa na Allah ne amma dai damo ai na mai gona ne. This man, willing to speak our problems into the light and articulate solutions for the good of all. Atiku, the man for whom our collective struggle is but a deja vu, and trust the man who has done it once to do it again. For out of Jada, a bud of hope has risen like a prophecy, and this time it will not wither in vain. By the light of his heart and the willingness of the people as active stakeholders in the business of actualizing the greater tomorrow we all dream. Nigeria, the universe is calling. It is our time to answer.
Welcome if you're just joining us. This is still Headline Roundup. Before we went on break, we were looking at all of the unofficial headlines that have been making rounds, the banters, the social media gossips. And now let's get down to business. Let's look at what is happening, all of the headlines that are making rounds today. So we have the APC legal advisor, we have the publicity head, and among others, jumping the party for PDP in Bayelsa State. I mean, we've said this when we saw this in Castina, we saw this in Rivers, we saw this in Kano as well. So what does this say of the alignment of the party? Because there have been rumors that there are internal crises within the APC, and there are also rumors that the Bola Tinubu faction is making moves to remove the current chairman of the party. I mean, in the light of this and all of this crisis, what do you think? What do you think is the future of the APC moving into the 2023 elections?
The future of the APC has been clear since for the past months, years, I don't know. Like, I don't see how they're going to win the next election. And I don't even want to put energy into their own party. I want to focus on my own party and say that it's clear that everything happening in my party when it comes to defection is either we're consolidating our power or strengthening a bit more. Every state where people decamp, like I said, is either consolidating and increasing the party, the power of the party. And it's good to see that the party, like I said, there's no crisis in the party. It's just like in every family, even in like every family, there's always one or two grumbles. But at the end of the day, we're all going to come together and resolve whatever matter we have. Like, for example, now in Bayelsa, a lot of people have crossed over from the APC to PDP. That's another South state that's a short victory. Like, I can bet my life on that. And it's a good development. It's a good development.
I mean, in a party where you have the head of publicity leaving the party, I mean, nobody can market a bad candidate. You can't market a bad product. Yeah, every good marketer knows that. So when you have the head of publicity moving into the PDP, they know where the good product is and they know where they ought to be at this time. I mean, it's safe to say that Bayelsa is in the bag for Atiku.
Bayelsa and a couple other states.
A couple of other states. Gombe is in the bag. Yeah. I mean, this is a lot of not
just in the bag, but at least 90%.
90%. And this is the same South. I mean, to see southern states that are rallying strongly for Atiku, I mean, that's very, very interesting. To see that these states are solidly 100% behind him, and he's a northerner. It shows that ahead of the election, he has already gone ahead to start bridging these gaps. So much so that a lot of southerners are totally and completely behind him. I think he's the only candidate that enjoys support from both the north and from the south. It's a very, very interesting dynamics that we're going to see play out in the elections. And then moving on, we also have the PDP BOT members meeting with Wike today. I mean, they met with the presidential candidates, they've met with the vice presidential candidates, and now they're meeting with Wike. When you started, you said something about every family having their own. Yes, I think it is interesting to note that the PDP has gone this far for one person, because I think within the PDP, every member is important and everybody is carried along. It is something that has kept the party standing this long. And it's good to know that I think Wike knows this, and he has said it countless times that he is for the PDP and he's not going anywhere. And it's very, very easy to see why, because he knows that at the end of the day, these issues are going to be worked through worked out, and his concerns are going to be addressed. And at the end of the day, the party will stand beside him, just as he will stand beside the party.
As you said, I was just about to say that, like, he has already made it clear that he's not going to work against the party. Neither will he work for any other party or any other candidate. He is just trying to, let the hierarchy of the party know that he just wants his voice to be heard, and quote unquote for equity and justice, he feels like the party chairman should leave. But it's good, like I said, it's good. Like every family has their own tussles, but it's good to see that the BOT headed by Wabara going to meet him, and we are hopeful that something positive will come out from.
I mean, we're more than hopeful, actually, because it's not just about positivity now. We've seen the signs. We've seen that something is indeed going to be done about it. We've seen that a lot of these disgruntled members are becoming, they have been included, they've been carried along, and what we've seen is that all sides have been assuaged, everybody is happy. I think this meeting is just for formality.
Let's not forget as well that previously the Rivers State didn't have anyone in the campaign council, but now they've submitted a name. Senator Lee Maeba has been submitted as a Rivers State representative in the campaign council. So that's a positive step forward. That's to show you that the Rivers State is fully on board with
fully on board. I mean, the Rivers State people have also said they've talked about the embarrassment of the APC lobbying the governor. I mean, the APC seems to be lobbying a lot of PDP members, and you wonder why.
Yeah, the APC in Rivers State actually called that an embarrassment, that the APC governors will come and be lobbying the PDP governor in Rivers State, which goes to say again that the PDP is the best.
It is the party to beat. PDP is the party to beat next year. Of course, we don't see them beating the party actually, but it is the party to beat next year. I mean, let's also, and talking about beating, Nans, Nans, they are still disgruntled, they are still unhappy, and what we might see on October 11th is another mobilization by the Nans against the current administration. So on October 11th, 437 Nigerians will be honored. Now it's I don't know if it's relevant to go into this list because there are people whose names are there twice. Of course, we've seen this with every other thing, with that the APC administration has done. Somebody who, under his watch, students have been home for over 6 months, 7 months. And you wonder, why is he being honored? What is the recognition for? And I think this was a very sensitive move by this administration. It is a very, very sensitive move, one that has angered the National Association of Nigerian Students, and they are going to protest. But we had, I can't quite remember.
That's the state we find ourselves in, and that's why, like I always say, like, why are people surprised when they see these kind of things happen in a party? That's not what it takes to, like, come on. Actually,
candidate is ready to flag off campaigns. AtikuLive, we're flagging off campaigns this Sunday in Uyo with the chairman. That's the state of the chairman of the campaign council. And then what you see is a party that is ready. They're ready. They're not making up moves as they go on. They're not making up anything as they go on.
They're ready. Posting videos from Cuba.
No. I think that
it's very funny.
I think this is not the time for that. This is the time to focus on the issues that concern Nigerians. And this APC has goofed over and over again, and basically shown Nigerians that they are insensitive to what they are going through the plight. For me here, I think this honor, national honor, maybe not to everybody, but it should be for every Nigerian. Every Nigerian that has endured the past 7.5 years should be honored. It is worthy of recognition, honestly. Really. It's been a tough time for us. And, well, the PDP is flagging up its campaigns. The candidate is ready. And that's really the real show of fitness. It's 145 days to the election, and he's up here, he's ready to start, and he's going to be on this up until the elections. So, I mean, that's a candidate who is ready to work, who is fit to run. I don't know about riding bikes. I don't know about riding
Spinning bicycle, by the way.
Spinning bicycles, All right, let's also look at the support for Atiku, the rally for support for Atiku in Ogun State with the former governor Aliyu Babangida, Ibrahim Shekarau, and Boni Haruna. I mean, these are former governors rallying around to support the president, the incoming president, Alhaji Atiku.
I watched it on I think it was Channels yesterday, and it was good to see. It was good to see that in an opposition state, we were able to gather that sort of crowd. and apparently there are already about 150 groups. 60 of them have mobilized 65,000 people. That's a good development, and like more are still to come. So let's like I said, PDP is the beautiful bride right now. We're the party to beat. So let's get it.
I mean, the support groups are not on Twitter. They are physical. They've come out, and we've seen the numbers. And I think it is interesting or it's important to note that these support groups are people who have come out with their own resources, with their own funding to say, this is what we want to do for this person because we believe in this person and the vision that this person has for Nigeria. And because these people have come out, you know that there's a commitment. They're not being paid, they're not being sponsored. They just simply believe in the candidate, and they're willing to spend their own resources to make sure that, you know, this person emerges winner. And is behind Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. I mean, this is very, very interesting development going ahead. And we know where all this is going to culminate, what this is going to culminate in next year. We're looking forward to the elections. We're going in strong. And I mean, the chances is looking really good for His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. He's the only candidate really who is prepared, who understands what needs to be done. All right, we'll go on a very short break now. And when we return, we'll continue with the sports news. We have a lot of interesting stories anyway, but we'll look at what's happening on the sports scene.
Today, just like every other year, Nigeria are celebrating 62 years of their independence. Despite the inflation rate, insecurity, unemployment, and poverty, Nigerians are still standing tall, facing every challenge with all their might.
Nigeria is home. Nigeria is where I've lived all my life. It is where I've grown to become the person that I am today. It is where has taught me resilience. It's the place that has taught me to believe and to persevere despite the odds. Nigeria is one place that I've learned to find happiness even in the face of challenges. Nigeria is my home, it is your home, and as Nigeria turns 62 today, I wish all of us a happy Independence Day.
I believe in Nigeria because I believe Nigeria is a land of endless possibilities. I believe in a Nigeria where our youth do not need to go outside to seek for greener pastures. I believe in a Nigeria free for all to live in, full of hopes and dreams. I believe in a Nigeria where our youth are getting better education. I believe in a Nigeria of security. I believe in Nigeria of economic prosperity. I believe in Nigeria because I am a Nigerian. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria.
Nigeria is a land that flows with milk and honey with so many opportunities. Despite we face so many challenges, but I believe in a greater nation. I believe in a Nigeria that works.
I don't carry my two left leg waka come today because now special one now we they do. You know, I'm not saying no easy. Nigeria has 62. It's not easy. Don't say they don't born us before that time, but we know say better things suppose they happen for this our Obodo Nigeria. We know that this country now blessed the country. At least I experienced Udoji. I experienced all those times when we say my papa go carry plenty rice come house. They go carry carton of pig meat come house. Everything they sweet us with the chop chicken yafu yafu. But I still believe say Nigeria we they still move forward. We go get better one. We know say this country now better country. Nothing goes scatter am.
My name is Ijoma Odumodu. Happy Independence Day, Nigeria.
I am Ibukun Adibari and I believe in a Nigeria of my dreams.
My name is Chukwuda Lumo and I am a Nigerian.
Now be this Ogbonge sister. Where your name be Lady B International.
My name is Tiana Waldbrasi and this is AtikuLive.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 2023 Atiku Koa 2023. I have my co-pilot here with me, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, keeping track on all navigation systems. Our destination is a united Nigeria. Right now, we're cruising at 22 feet above sea level. Before we arrive at our destination, let me give you a brief update on what to expect at our destination. Number 1. The temperature is going to be hot on security issues. 2. The people are going to be better educated and the educational system and healthcare will be accessible to every citizen. This and many more to be expected for a united and prosperous Nigeria. So sit back and relax, and before you know it, if we all join hands together, we shall arrive at the new united Nigeria we all dream of soon enough. My name is Atiku Abubakar. As one, we can get it done.
before we get into the sports news, let's just take a quick recap. Welcome back to Headline Roundup.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 2023 AtikuLive 2023. I have my co-pilot here with me, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, keeping track on all navigation systems. Our destination is a united Nigeria. Right now, we're cruising at 2022 feet above sea level. Before we arrive at our destination, let me give you a brief update on what to expect at our destination. Number 1, the temperature is going to be hot on security issues. 2, the people are going to be better educated, and the educational system and healthcare will be accessible to every citizen. 3, the economy is going to be thriving and booming. And of course, there'll be true federalism. This and many more to be expected for a united and prosperous Nigeria. So sit back and relax, and before you know it, if we all join hands together, we shall arrive at the new united Nigeria we all dream of soon enough. My name is Atiku Abubakar. As one, we can get it done.
Welcome back to Headline Roundup. And on the sports scene, our first news is we're talking about the NFF election that was just previously held in Benin.
Yeah.
And Ibrahim Gusau has been elected as the new president of the Nigerian Football Federation from Zamfara State, and former Zamfara Football Federation president. So it's a good development for football.
It's a good development. You think we're going to see anything different?
We hope so. A new era. The previous era, we didn't qualify for the World Cup, so hopefully this one ushers it into the next World Cup, and maybe we can win the AFCON as well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope this is not going to be, we're not going to end up like certain clubs that change leadership once they lose a match. I hope that's not where we're going to anyway. But
no.
I know that moving forward, we're expecting, there's a lot of hope and expectation on Ibrahim Gusau, and I mean, we're looking forward to better times in our sports, particularly in football.
Yeah. And the next news, we'll be talking about a Nigerian as well in Napoli. Victor Osimhen, he has returned to starting lineup after going off injured against Liverpool in Champions League. That was actually a good game he played. I think he stressed himself too much, with the leg. That's why he went off limping. So it's good to see him back. He's a good player as well.
It's good to see him back. I mean, we know that he was being well taken care of. And then you see when you look at injuries like this, you wonder why we don't do well on the home scene, and that's because they have this, they play this much, they have injuries when they're playing for external clubs or foreign clubs and foreign countries, and we don't see the same commitment back home, because you know that at the end of the day, I mean, you're a star player, you get an injury, who's going to take care of you? That's your career on the line, and we don't know how many Nigerians are going to put their career on the line for a national team that might not take care of them.
Funny enough, he's actually one of the very few players that when he plays for the national team, he actually puts in a shift. Yeah. Like he's a striker, but sometimes he comes back as a defender, and it's good to see him back, and hopefully he's back in the Nigerian squad as well.
All right, well, that's the much that we can take for Headline Roundup today. Do join us again tomorrow. Follow us on all our social media platforms. You can send us messages, send us tweets. We'll love to hear from you. Join us again, same time tomorrow, 8 to 9 a.m. here on AtikuLive. And my name is Ijoma Udumudu.
And I'm Michael Pepple.
Bye.
Bye.